Happy Wisdom Wednesday, everyone. So if you haven't noticed, I don't have a physical book for you this week, but I have an audiobook. And there's a very specific reason why I recommend the audiobook over the physical book. Both are fantastic, but this book changed my life, and I promise you it will change yours if you let it. It is the first book that I start out when it comes to any time that I'm mentoring or coaching, the variety of young professionals that reach out to me on LinkedIn who have either lost their jobs, perhaps had a change in their career, and really have felt lost, right? As funny as the title sounds, it is a powerful book. Now, how did I first hear about this? Now, many of you know that one of my great mentors from afar and favorite marketers is Seth Godin. And Seth is really a philosopher who happens to be a marketer. And one day he talked about how inspirational one of his mentors was, which was Zig Ziglar, a world-renowned motivational speaker and great salesperson who's unfortunately no longer with us. But Seth, in an interview, once said that the most powerful thing he had ever read or listened to was Zig Ziglar's How to Stay Motivated. And I remember a few years ago, I had lost my job. I was really down in the dumps, and I needed to change the way that I thought, right? And so I started with this tape. And since then, I've listened to this audiobook on and off maybe about 20 or 21 times, and I've definitely been keeping count. When I recommend this to anybody, to any professional, regardless of where you are, I always say you will not listen to anything the week that you're listening to this audiobook. You're not going to listen to music, podcasts, nothing, because human beings are very much like computers, right? We're kind of like, as Scott Adams likes to put it, moist robots. Yes, we have conscious thought and everything, but we're very much programmable, and our bodies are kind of like a computer. Look, our heart is beating. We don't have control of that. Our stomach is going to digest food when we eat, right? If we stop breathing, we're going to immediately start breathing in. Our lungs work while we sleep, right? So the mind is the same way. And if you're running on the wrong program in your mind, it doesn't matter what you do in life, you will not be successful. That doesn't mean that positive thinking and visualization is going to get you everything in your life, but I promise you, you are going to get the things you want out of your life faster and easier when you start thinking the right way. So what is How to Stay Motivated all about? It's not just about motivation. It's about how to look at life in general, not only from a professional standpoint, but how do you get along with that terrible boss you might have at work, right?
Okay, you know what? I don't know if I would have done this. Yeah.
Is there a problem with it, or?
You do not hand in crap like this! This looks like you took a crap or a dump in the printer! You are scum! I should fire you and burn down your friggin' house!
How do you get along with that very needy and argumentative spouse?
Eric, doing a show.
Where do you think you're going?
They just flew in a liver. I got to do the transplant. Where do you think I'm going?
You are such an ass.
I'm the that pays for your art lessons and gets celebrities to attend your charity events and support your deadbeat brother.
Hey, little agent boy, you better be back here for the cake.
Okay.
What about those, spoiled and bratty kids of yours, right?
Monsters! What is this?
It changes the way that you should look at the world, because all the problems that you have right now in the world are really not the problem of the world. All the answers to those problems are all within you. If you want to change the world around you, you want to start by changing yourself. And I want to play something from the audiobook for you to really leap off on this discussion.
Now, what's all this self-talk about? Well, here's what it's about. The most important opinion you have is the opinion you have of yourself. And the most important conversation you will have today is a conversation that you will have with yourself. These are values that make such a difference in them. But before we're through...
Now, the biggest thing that I realized in my professional development as a professional, as a spouse, as a friend, as a son, is that we talk to everybody. Sometimes we find ourselves talking to other people at the traffic light. But the most important person you're going to talk to out loud is yourself. Because if you learn how to have patience with yourself, if you learn how to pick yourself up on bad days, coach yourself, understand why you do certain things, maybe why you're not motivated, why do things keep going wrong for you, right? Then you're able to not only change yourself, but serve as an example, change the world and environment around you. I've said this many times before. Reality is a lot more subjective than we think, and the perception of it is really up to you. If you lose your job one day, you get to decide two things. Number one, it's the worst day of your life, or number two, it's a brand new day and a new opportunity is going to come your way. When I talk to professionals who have just lost their job, the most important thing I tell them is not about their resume, it's not about what they do, it's about their level of confidence, their energy. Because from that, all the actions that you move from there is going to allow you to be successful in the next steps, right? Something I want to read to you from Zig Ziglar's audiobook. And again, the book is fantastic, but to start with the audiobook is this one quote. You sow an action, you reap a habit. You sow a habit, you reap a character. You sow a character, you reap a destiny. And that's what we're all talking about here, folks. It starts with the type of actions we take on a daily basis. What is the self-talk that we're doing to ourselves? Because I guarantee you the way we talk to ourselves justifies how we treat the environment around us, including our spouse, our employees, our boss, and our friends. So it's a wonderful book. I promise you it will change your life, and it's probably the biggest gift that I can give to you by recommending that you go and get this book and listen to it. It changed my life. I think it will change yours. And again, as always, happy Wisdom Wednesday, and I'll see you next week.